Hi,
My name is Tracey,
and my name is Lynn.
and together we
are
are Bollocks and Balls. We like to chat
And boy, can we chat.
about the bollocks and balls.
Mainly in our heads, but also about life in general. After all, it's good to talk.
Let's get ready to rumble. Sing that.
Literally, you've just started talking about like adverts that we remember, and I remember she's just like laughing at me and going, "What's that?" Do you remember like the Philadelphia? It goes, "Philadelphia chives."
She's a weirdo.
Why do you remember random stuff like that?
Funny enough.
Random adverts.
Because it's the silly. Well, yeah, but that's the good advert, isn't it? Because it's the good advert that then you remember it. So it's the silly stuff we remember.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense then.
Isn't it? Because you never remember the serious ones. You
Oh,
always
God,
remember,
no.
like, you know, what was like the mashed potato men.
Mash get smashed.
That's it. See, it's all those crazy.
The alien robot thing.
See, now, right, what do kids do now that they haven't got the white fairy liquid bottle? How do you make a rocket?
You don't, do you? You can't make a rocket.
How do kids make rockets?
My hands are as soft as whatever it was.
Yeah.
Mild green, very liquid. Oh my God, shoot us now.
The cranky ones you remember, see, that's a good advert.
Silliness.
If it makes you laugh, or you talk about it because it's absolutely ridiculous, well, it does its job, isn't it? It's the ones that we go, have you seen that bloody stupid advert? Yeah, well, you've seen it, you've taken it in.
And you
Because
talked about
apparently
it.
they say it's something like it takes you 33, watching it 33 times for it to actually go in and you might do something with it.
33?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay.
So, if you've remembered it, say.
So us
And this is, take into account, right, this is adverts we saw in the 70s and we still remember them. Can't remember fuck all else,
That's true.
but we can remember an advert from the 70s. So, it did its job. You can't go out and buy it now. Well, I suppose you can buy very liquid, but
You can. And you can buy Smash too. Where we were talking.
Croak this in there.
So how's your week been?
Well, actually, it's been a very thoughtful week.
Mm.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Tell me
Well-
more. Tell me more.
I had things going on this week, didn't we? Because, like, we lost a family pet, so yeah. So lots of, well, see, now this is what's brought on my thinking.
Okay.
There's been a lot of it this
Oh
week.
dear.
So when we talk about these things, and people go, "Oh, I've had a sad week."
Yeah.
But a hard week. It's been difficult. And we use all these words, don't we?
Yeah.
So then it made me think, I keep saying, oh, it's a bit difficult this week. So then I'm making it a difficult week.
Right. Okay. I see what you're
Do
saying.
you see where I'm going with it?
Yeah, I do.
So this links to, like, you know, what we were talking about last week with words and the words we use. But then I was trying to think, well, but what other words would you use? And I actually struggled.
I'm not sure what other words you would use. For me, I think you're trying to be mindful of the feelings that everybody's feeling, aren't you? And sometimes it is hard to have those feelings, but actually they're also very acceptable and we need to have them and go through them.
Yeah. So it's been really interesting. I've had a very conscious aware week, and I've really done more to be consciously aware of my thoughts and what I'm doing, and to be kind to myself.
Cool.
And so what I've done this week has been very aware to give myself just 2 minutes here and there. And it's really easy to say to people, isn't it? Like, you need to take time for yourself. It's not selfish. It's being kind to yourself. It's looking after yourself. And it is. It's really, really important. But we sort of dismiss it a little bit because we think to take time out, it needs to be a chunk of time.
Yeah.
But actually, all I've done is just given myself 2 minutes here and there. I've just walked out in the garden, taken my shoes off, and sat there for a couple of minutes.
Cool.
Or I've just taken myself away with a little bit of something to watch or listen to, just to take my mind away from everything that's sort of been going on. And I feel really energized this week, which is really crazy in a week where there's been a lot of emotion, which can be really draining. And also it was the anniversary of my brother's death. Not the anniversary, my brother's birthday, and he's not with us anymore. So that when you're already emotional, that makes it
that height.
I think of him all the time, but obviously on his birthday, you think of him a bit more. But when you've got emotional stuff going on, it's like poof, you know. Walk down in the morning, and my daughter looked at each other and just went, floods of tears. So normally that would be really draining, but actually I feel really energized because I've given myself lots of little bits this week of just self-care and just been very aware, and also been aware, like, around people you can get sucked into sort of negativity, and I thought I'm not going to let that happen this week because I've got enough going on. I don't need any more. It's been quite, what's the word? It's uplifting, actually.
But that's amazing, because doesn't that just prove that it doesn't need to be a grand gesture? It doesn't need to be you sitting there meditating for half an hour with your legs crossed going,
absolutely not, which I'm not. I love meditation, but I'm not great with giving it a big time space.
No, this is it, isn't it? Whereas I tend to a little bit more, but actually, like you say, 2 minutes in the garden, grounding with your shoes off, is all that it takes.
And we had a rainstorm, and I actually videoed it. I just sat and watched and listened to the rain, just for a couple of minutes.
Wow.
And that's all it's done.
See, that's really interesting. So I said to you at the beginning of the week I was watching a program. So there's a program on Disney Plus. It's with Chris Hemsworth, who is Thor in all the Marvel movies. I've not watched any of them. I'm not a Marvel fan. My lot are. So
you haven't watched it.
No, we all know I'm crap at films.
Sorry, just have to drop that in there.
She moans at me all the time. I'm not kidding, right? Even the people that are doing my garden at the moment, he had a soundtrack on. This is going off on tangent. I had a soundtrack on, and he's like, "Lynn, the film." I was like, "I don't know." He went, "It's like Willow from the 80s." I was like, "Right." He went, "Don't tell me you've not watched Willow." I was like, "Oh my God, you sound like my mate Tracey." I said, "All she does is moan at me that I don't watch bloody films." It's true. He's like, "Tell me you've watched that." I was like, he was like, "Warwick Davis." I was like, "Probably not, no."
I love it.
Right, back on. So,
sorry.
Yeah, back onto Chris Hemsworth. So he did this thing called Limitless, and he was trying to find out the best ways to live a long and healthy life. He wanted to live a long and healthy life, and he's only like 38, and obviously he's built like a brick outhouse. He's really muscly. That's a nice word. Right, and stuff. But he wanted to live a long and healthy life into his 80s and 90s and what have you. So he was doing a lot of work and looking at how he could do that. And actually, you just saying about that listening and watching, in one of the episodes, he, as part of that, they made him go out with a friend who's a First Nation Australian, so he's an Indigenous man from Australia.
Yeah.
So they went out into the wilderness for 2 days. There was the land that this his friend was part of their tribe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure the tribe's the technical word, so I apologise if it's not. And they went out there, and one of the elders they kind of blessed them as they were leaving, and one of the elders said to him, "You need to listen with your ears, and you need to see with your own eyes. Listen with your own ears and see with your own eyes." And you're like, and for him, that was really profound. Obviously, they took away their phones. They didn't have a compass. They didn't have a map. They had to get to this particular spot. So they kind of worked it out in their heads beforehand with a map. And then they were just guided with what they could remember. And the idea was that if you used your brain to navigate, it stimulated a part of your brain that helped with memory. So that would help stop the Alzheimer's and dementia, because it turns out that he's got a very rare combination of genes that means he's 10 times likely to get Alzheimer's.
Gosh.
So it was really interesting. But yeah, they were just out there, and the amazing bit he had was just like you say, being out there in nature, watching things, listening to things. There's no distraction, there's no noise going on with social media or laptops or iPads or anything else. It was just them and nature, and that was it.
Because the world we're in now, to do everyday things, actually we don't need to think.
No.
It's actually taken away our ability, in a sense, for us to think and work things out. Because we don't need to, because you can just Google it, ask Siri, or, we have calculators, we have, phones, sat-navs, everything. So we actually don't have to think.
No, so that's clearly not helping, is it?
No.
So I'm guessing that's impacting. That will impact in generations to come.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, we don't have to think.
No.
It's there. It's all done for us. We just speak into a phone or an Alexa or anything, and it gives you the answer.
Yeah.
We don't have to work that shit out for ourselves.
No, and we write letters or emails or anything. There's autocorrect that we don't. Wow.
But it just made me think of that. Just reminded me that, like you say, isn't it? I was watching the rain.
Yeah, I've just been really aware this week of listening to what I needed, and so when I needed a couple of minutes, I took a couple of minutes. I didn't push through it or push it away. I just went with it and took a couple of minutes to myself. And I'm on a course next week, and I wanted to go into that course refreshed. So I thought what I also need to do is make sure, I get my sleep. I take that time. I didn't want to take what was going on this week into next week. So I thought I really have to process this week, which is something we don't do. We push away, where we should sort of just accept and process. But then it gets me thinking. I was very aware I wanted to be in that good headspace, ready for next week.
Right.
But why is next week so special?
It's not, is it?
Why don't we do that for ourselves every week?
That's it.
Because every week is special.
But exactly that. But we don't, do we?
We don't.
We look ahead. We're not looking in the present moment.
No.
Except ahead doesn't yet exist.
No. And it may never exist. Who knows?
That's the point, isn't it? It may never exist.
No. And when things happen and we have loss, we all say it, don't we? I need to connect with my family more. I need to connect with my friends more. I need to make every moment special. I need to not wait to wear that special outfit. And we do that for a short amount of time, don't we?
It doesn't stick.
It doesn't stick, and it should. It should. And like that guy is saying, you know, if we just look after ourselves, but then we have to listen to ourselves.
I think so, and then just...
Sorry, it's my dog
Hang
trying
on,
to get in the door. That's right, just ignore it.
Okay. So part of this series with Chris Hemsworth too was at the end episode was about acceptance and about death, and the fact that death is the only certain thing we've got in life.
It absolutely is, yeah.
The only certain thing we don't know is when it's turning up.
Yeah.
Whether that's tomorrow or in 50 years' time.
Yeah.
But we know it's going to happen. So it was just about accepting that and getting him to accept that would happen. And he spoke to people, older people and a young girl, but older people, and everybody he spoke to that were towards the end of this life. So there was a young girl there who was 27, and she'd got a terminal diagnosis, so she knew that she was never going to make old age. And the older people that he spoke to, everybody said the same thing. Everybody. Make the most of your time. Make the most of, live for now. Not what's gone, well, not what's in the future. Live for now, because you never know when that's going.
Yeah.
And everybody said that. And even the specialist guy that had organised that episode was saying to him, all I want him to do is live in that present moment, to just be here in this present moment, and not, you know. And here, Chris Hemsworth had a big thing. His mind monkeys and inner critic used to go at him all the time, and that just made me think, he's clearly a very wealthy man. He's a very successful actor. But even that, all the time he would have.
He's still got that negative voice.
Still got that negative voice, and he still thinks, that film wasn't good enough, or that wasn't, and what happens if, and so critic says this about me, and but so like you say, he was always looking to the next thing, the next project he could do, rather than
just being now. And sometimes we just have to be. And I get people sometimes find that difficult because of their past and what's happened in their past. And we can't change the past.
No.
We can change how we feel about the past.
Yes.
We can do that, which then makes it a lot easier of our present awareness.
Definitely.
Yeah. And we can be more comfortable in this present moment where we need to be.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like you say, the past is gone and you can't change that. And the future doesn't yet exist till we get there. There is never a future. No. This is getting a bit deep, but there is never a future.
No.
The future is only the present when we get there.
Yeah. So this is where we should live.
Yes.
In this moment.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of song in
it. It is. That's a Whitney Houston song, isn't it?
Oh, I'm not going there then.
Oh God, no. I haven't got that vocal range at all. Oh God, I'm just trying to think. There's a saying, and I don't know whether it was a Buddhist saying. I don't know about present being a gift of now, so it's a present.
Oh, in the word, it's the present. It's yeah, exactly as it is. It's a gift. Yeah. It's in Kung Fu Panda.
Now I've watched Kung Fu Panda. I love Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, he talks about that. But it is a gift, and it's the only thing that we need because we're not certain of anything else.
That's it.
But at this moment, we are here, and we should sit in the moment and not. We spend so much time in our heads, in the past, in the future. It's cranky.
Yeah, because it doesn't do any good for that present moment, does it?
No.
But you've just said this week, 2 minutes.
I've absolutely embraced just 2 minutes here and there. And everybody can take 2 minutes. And I know people, I haven't got the time, well, I'll go sit on the toilet. Everybody sits on the toilet.
Exactly.
And don't tell me you don't, because that's rubbish. That's bollocks.
It is bollocks.
Yeah. So even if you just take 2 minutes and just sit there and sing to yourself or listen to the rain or whatever it is.
Just breathe.
Yeah. Just 2 minutes. It's nothing. But do that. It's made a whole difference to me this week. And any other week, I would have got to the end of this week and been, I've had a lot of work on. So I've been working those this week, and as well as with everything going on, I'd have been drained, I've been shattered. And I'm not. Full of beans.
Because what did I first thing I said to you this morning when I walked in? I bet you're bloody knackered this week. Because you haven't stopped. She's like, no. Because I've given myself what I've needed. I've embraced it. I've allowed everything to process, and I've just stepped out for a few moments here and there. And honestly, even because I was way behind with the social media, wasn't I, for this week, and I've just taken stuff from my camera roll, and I've enjoyed that because I've gone back over things and like, oh my God, little things like, and taking photos of my garden, and it's just, and that then also gives you a real sense of gratitude of actually everything I need, I have right here inside me and around me. I'm very grateful of that. But we can all find that little bit of peace and quiet somewhere. Yeah, we can, like you say.
Just shut the door, step outside. I mean, my garden's not quiet. I'm next to a road. But when you just focus on some water trickling or just listening to the birds or something, you can hear the cars as well, but that becomes all part of it. It's all part of what's going on around. And it's quite lovely.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's shifting that focus, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's shifting that focus from that one, like you say, the bird sounds. So if you're just listening to the bird sounds, the other sounds just like mute almost, don't they?
Yeah.
Even though you'll know they're there and you're slightly aware that they're there, they don't become the sole focus of your hearing.
And I think sometimes we try too hard. And I think meditation and all things make you do that a little bit, whereas just being consciously aware is just what we've just been talking about.
Yes, exactly. That's it.
But we spend so much of our day in our subconscious because we don't flick the switch to our conscious.
That's it. But like you say, isn't it? So we come up with a saying, isn't it? By the time you're like, so it's a Joe Dispenza saying in quote. But by the time you're 35, 95% of your decision making and of your living is done subconsciously.
Yeah.
95 freaking %.
It's crazy.
Of your life is determined by your subconscious making your decisions. So when we say subconscious, we're talking about that inner voice, that inner critic, the monkey mind. It's making those choices, and you are not.
You're not. It's scary.
It's fucking scary.
Yeah. So we need to step into that conscious mind.
And like you say, so when we talk about it, isn't it? It is just that. It's being aware.
That's all it is. You like you said, you don't have to sit there for half an hour legs crossed going,
No.
Don't get me wrong, if you want to, that's absolutely great. And if you can do that, I've struggled to do that. But I can step out. And I just thought this week the only way I can make it possible is just to give it 2 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Then I was like, okay, let's make this 3 minutes. But that's all I've done. I've done no more than like 3 or 4 minutes.
Which is, like you say, is absolutely nothing.
It's been amazing. Been absolutely amazing. Yeah. And I do feel absolutely energised. And when I've got tired, gone to bed. It hasn't been particularly early, I'll have to say. But I've gone to bed and just slept really well.
Just because
I've not allowed that subconscious to rant onto me, and I think I've quieted.
We're struggling with words this week, aren't we?
I've shut it up.
But that's it, isn't it?
It's like, I think it's sort of gone on a bit of a holiday because it's thinking, she's just got this week.
Yeah, she's not playing.
So it's no point in having a rant in there because it's just not working.
No.
So I think it's gone on its souls a bit this week.
Good.
It's taking some time out.
It's taking some time out for
self-care.
It's like, can't deal with her this week.
No.
Fighting a losing battle this week.
Yeah. So yeah, it's great. It's amazing. That's all it takes.
But that's it, isn't it? That's all it takes, and people think it's a lot more.
Yeah, they do. And I used to. And then you try too hard, you work too hard with it, which is like just ridiculous.
Because then that becomes a fight, and then your subconscious batters you like, you can't do that. Why is it fighting you do?
Yeah.
So you're
just fighting in that subconscious way. Yeah. Yeah. Step away.
But like you say, being aware.
That's all it is. And like, I've had lots of emotions this week, and I've just I've not stepped away from them. That's been the great thing. I've just let them. Do you know what? Okay, I feel, and you know what I've always been like.
Yeah.
I'm not never been a one to embrace emotions and cry. That's something I've really struggled with. But this week I've just gone. Do you know what? It's okay. I actually feel sad at this moment, and that's triggered a little bit. So let's just have a cry.
It's so good for you.
Yeah, I know, and it's something I've never used to do because I had a real subconscious
and a lot of people do
it.
Lots of people do.
Yeah, and also I had a real hang up with the vulnerability of it, and actually I know that vulnerability is my strength now, not my weakness.
No,
big time.
And that takes a lot.
That's liberating, honestly. We'll save that one.
But so this is it, and it's just that 2 minutes, that just being aware of what's going on in your head, and we talk about it all the time, don't we? Is that notice?
Yeah.
Just notice what your head is saying to you.
Yeah. And I have sometimes on those 2 minutes, I've physically gone right, I'm going to take my shoes off. That's like been the beginning of that 2 minute. Right, I've taken my shoes off, so like my 2 minutes starts now.
Right. Okay.
So I've made it. Because that's how my mind, that's how I need something. Sometimes I can't just step in and out.
No.
So it's like, okay, I'll take my shoes off. So now I'm connected. A bit connected to the carpet or the earth or whatever, but it's like, right, this is my 2 minutes now.
So it is finding whatever trigger starts for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, okay, taking my shoes off is the start of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Taking 4 deep breaths is the start of that.
Yeah.
Locking myself in the toilet is the start of that.
Absolutely.
Whatever works for you, and it doesn't have to be the same as everybody else.
No.
It's whatever works for you.
Yeah, find like a 3 minute video of something, if that can be your start to getting into that mindset. If you need that prop to start it, and then gradually you won't need that prop. You can gradually start to think, okay, I'm having a couple of minutes here.
And that's it. And like you say, and I also think it doesn't have to be, like you say, stopping. Find your most favourite song that gets you going and stick that on.
That's usually 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 or 3 minutes.
So you're just totally lost in that song.
Like you say, you're dancing, and even if you don't want to dance, you just sat there, you're absorbed in that favourite song, and all the good memories that brings back for you with that song.
That's really good, actually, yeah. And we can do that anywhere. You can be walking down the road, you dance down the road, great.
This is it.
And make somebody else smile at the same time.
Yeah, I always do that. That and car dancing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's anything that just stops that inner chatter shit going on all the time.
And we've all got it in there to do it. Just got to choose to find it sometimes.
We have. We certainly have. But like you said, it's realising that you can have the choice. And we're telling you can.
Yeah, and realising that it can be simple and easy, this one.
Yeah.
To be honest. Okay, sometimes it's not easy to start it, but just take something simple and make it easy for yourself. And that, it's very uplifting.
Yeah,
well, thanks for that this week.
Love it. That's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
2 minutes cost you nothing, does it?
And it doesn't take away the sadness and things that have been going on. It doesn't take any of that away. But then you just allow it to process.
And like you say, and be a whole emotion thing, which will, like you say, that's a whole several podcasts.
Oh, talk about that forever.
Yeah. But allowing those emotions to come up, flow, and go work their way through.
And when you can be aware of them, they're not scary.
No.
Not as scary.
No. Love it. What an awesome week.
Yeah, it has been. It's been really good. And I never thought I was going to say that at the beginning of the week, because I was saying, this is going to be a difficult week. And that was my mindset, was then like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
What am I telling myself?
That's the thing, isn't it?
What am I telling myself this week is going to be?
Exactly.
And that's where it just starts. It's what you choose.
And we have the choice.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Ooh, my microphone's just fell in my lap. Right, my darlings, what's the time? I can't see the big glasses.
We've been here for half an hour.
Well, that's just about right then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get us. Woohoo. Oh, we're getting this down to a nice groove going on, aren't we? Get us. Woohoo.
Fine arts, we are.
We are.
Just pulling faces.
Now, Leslie, when you say that, all I've got is like the screen face in my hand. I'm like on the screen face. Like,
You haven't watched that film, have you?
good God, no.
God,
Bloody
for a
stupid.
minute then, I thought you were going to say yes.
No. Of course I'm not. The only horror film I've watched is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my goodness, you've missed so much. You need to.
Totally unexpected used to shit me up.
Oh, horror's not like that now. Horror's not like it used to be, but it's good. Got to educate this woman with movies.
It's dark though, isn't it? Right, just as a random note. I don't like horror, but I'd quite happily see a ghost in real life. Or a spirit in real life. I would love to be able to do that.
Yeah, but then see, we can get onto words now, can't we? Because we automatically link ghosts with scary, and they're not.
No, that's but like you say, I would quite happily see that in real life.
Yeah.
I would love to. But why am I objecting to horror?
Don't know, because you're weird.
Well, that's true. We all know that.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Very. And I love it. I love it. And on that note, folks, we will leave you to it.
Love you and leave you.
Have a most awesome week.
Bye.
Bye.
So much for listening to Chatting Bollocks and Bull with Lynne and Tracey.
If you would like to see or hear more of us, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or of course by subscribing to the podcast.
If you share this podcast with others, you will make two old birds very happy. And finally, if you want more bollocks and bull in your life,
And who wouldn't?
then sign up to our newsletter. The link is in the show notes.
That's all, folks.
Love ya!